Hello, my fellow overrated bestsellers. I'm Mr. Church. And if you opened the item shop up earlier today, you were one of the lucky few who saw this, which is not today's item shop update. It's actually probably next week's. That's why it says TBD up here instead of something clever like let's get liberated. Anyway, I was at first curious why this was all jumbled up, and there's new stuff 4 pages in and new stuff on page 1 as well. And then I opened the game up on my PC and saw that there was no Jeep there, which means that part was an error, and they removed it. So if you were someone who was lucky enough to see it and grab it, congratulations, you have early access to something pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool anyway. And if it is in the shop next week, I'll do a more thorough review on it, but this is what it looks like. You can't sit in it. I put a chair in it to sit in it. Anyway, it's pretty nice, pretty neat, but today we have something just really exciting and exhilarating. We don't have any bundles this week, which is very interesting. They've been making all these dumbass bundles, which have stupid shit in them. And this week, they've actually just given us 3 different items, no bundles. There's the Liberated collectron station, the Snuggle Spike Plushie display, which this is just a piece of rebar, and then 3 Axolotl plushies, and it's only $3.50 for those 3. Kind of light, but I don't mind that because, like, I don't know about you guys, but this Liberated collectron station is kind of overwhelming, and if they added more to it, I would probably just be close to tears trying to figure out, you know, how to even begin to take in all this new joy. Anyway, this thing says it's hard. It's getting hard. It's getting hard to tell who was liberated in this scenario, which makes no sense. Guy has a little face on him. There's duct tape that's ripped up and stuff. And the collectron station looks a little bit different than they usually do, which is interesting. And when he's in his pod, he's kind of like hanging from it like this, which is pretty weird. It doesn't say anywhere what this collects, because it's a collectron station, by the way. You can only build 1, and you cannot build it in a shelter. I had it sitting around for 14 hours, and it collected some starlight berries and eventually some glowing resin. So it appears to collect foliage and fauna from the local area, but that seems a little dumb. So if you guys are seeing other stuff that it's picking up that's not that, let me know in the comments, please, because I just don't get it, okay? I mean, you do use starlight berries to craft certain chems, but you can just go pick some faster than waiting for this guy to pick you 1 every hour. Anyway, he's kind of a cute design. If you don't want him jiggling around in your camp, just put the thing really high in the sky and he won't know how to pathfind to it, so he'll just stop walking and it'll be nice and peaceful at your house. This thing's 700 atoms. I don't know if I'd personally get it. I mean, I already did, but let's move on to the Snuggle Spike plushie display again. These are separate items. They didn't bundle anything because they didn't have enough stuff to bundle it, I guess. Now, the Snuggle Spike plushie display case is kind of pricey at 500 atoms for, let's face it, it's a stick. This is a stick. It's a little piece of stick. Strike fear in the fluff of your enemies. So, I don't know if they understand, like, the way that puns work, but that's not how it works. Now, in the pictures here, they show some Mr. Fuzzy plushies on it, so I assume all the Mr. Fuzzies will be fine. I was curious if bigger ones would fit on it, and no, it just doesn't let you put massive ones on. I tried Mr. Bottles and also the giant sheep squatch plushies. Those, they just don't show up in the menu when you interact with it, so you can't put them on. It looks like they're getting impaled in a most uncomfortable manner, but that's fine. If I were to get this for myself for building, I would get it just for the rebar. You know, it's a little piece of rebar, but now because we have so much freedom with being able to place things wherever we want, this will be a really nice detailing piece for certain builds, and I think that people will find a lot of cool, unique ways to use this as a nice detailing piece. Something like this is actually very useful. And it's just a little piece of rebar. Keep in mind though, because it's a display item, that you can only build 30, and that includes all your display items, so you are limited in what you can build with them. So if you want to use it for building, keep that in mind. But it's kind of cool, but it is expensive. If it was 350 atoms, I would think that that was more realistic. But I get, because it's a display item, they think they can jack the price up. And the third new thing is the Axolotl set. These are plushies. These are Axolotl plushies, and I didn't personally get these. I mean, I guess I could, but here's the thing. Here's the problem with plushies, okay? You might like this a lot, and if you like this, then get it. It's not a bad price, okay? But a plushie has one goal. A plushie has one goal, and that's to be cute, okay? And so that cuteness had better be next level, you know? And if it's not doing it for me, I'm not gonna buy it, all right? And a lot of the plushies are like, they're like cute, you know? But with a lowercase c, you know, there's nothing like, wow, that's cute, I have to have it, you know? You might think that's fully subjective, but in my opinion, it's cute, but for something whose sole purpose is to be cute, it's not cute enough, and therefore I won't be personally getting them. There are ways that they could have designed this to be a slightly more cute. I think they're cute, like I said, I'm not interested that much. Now, that's everything that's new this week, except of course the sneaky truck set, which they accidentally put in the shop too early. They also have this thing, which is the quality wood bundle, and quality is some kind of word choice they used. And this again has the new label on it because it's nothing in it is new. We've got the curio cabinet, the barn mailbox, the old oak clock, the stately armoire display case, the woodland retreat, and the fancy coffee table. Just a few notes, guys. This picture is to show you this coffee table you can barely see. That's like piled up in heap of rubbish. It's not this massive chair, which is what your eye is drawn to in this picture. This is back when they knew how to take pictures of the items that they were putting in the shops. Those were the days, am I right? Anyway, this is the stately armoire display case. As you can see, everything's just placed like that all along here, and it looks kind of ridiculous. And also, I don't like the backdrop is like this weird black color, like a matte black. It's fine. And then this is something it doesn't say is this is actually a collecting device, okay? You can only build one of them. You can't build it in a shelter. It's pretty cool, and I like the detail on it. And this is the biggest prefab they've ever built. And when I originally did my review of it, I said, this is too big to properly furnish because the budget isn't big enough. And there are 4 floors in it. Maybe only 3. No, there's 4. And a lot of people were like, I can build it, I can furnish it, that's a skill issue, you know? And then they have like pictures and you look at it and they have like 12 items on each floor. That looks good, Billy, nice job. You're right, it's a skill issue. I wish I knew how to build. I wish I knew how to build so much. I always wanted to build good, but I never could quite do it. Are you listening to yourself? Anyway, that's why I don't like this thing. It's too big to properly decorate it because you can't clutter up that much space. And because there's that much space, a lot of people ended up boarding off entire floors so that they could properly decorate, you know, parts of it. This is the Flaming Skulls bundle, and it comes with the Fire Hazard backpack, the Fire Hazard paint for the flamer, the Skull Raider Excavator Power Armor skin, and the Skull Drum set. As you can see, they don't give a fuck if you can see any of the stuff ever in any of their things. This is a picture of this. You see this muddy, brown, gray blob here? That's, you know, taking up like 1/10 of the photo. That's what this picture is of. You can barely see that. This actually looks pretty cool. I mean, you wouldn't know it looking at this mud, but it's a pretty cool flamer skin. This is the backpack picture. I think this is a pretty cool backpack. but it does have its like specific uses. This is the drum set, it's whatever, and then this is the Skull Raider Excavator Power Armor skin. Again, this only is for Excavator, and it looks like that. So yeah, that's that. This is the Fire Station bundle, and it comes with the Responders Fire Department player icon, the Firewall outfit, the Charleston Fire Station, the Fireman, or the Firewall helmet, and then also the Fireman paint for the Flamer. So this is the picture for the fire station. I'm not joking. This is the picture they chose to use to sell a prefab. Are you guys fucking stupid? Like, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm actually genuinely curious. Like, I'm asking to educate myself. What is the highest level of education that you completed? Because here's the thing, the point of the pictures in the Atom Shop, and this is just, I'm just making assumptions here, but I always thought it was so that you would, people would know what those words are so that they would be like, I want to purchase that with my money. And then they do, and then you make money, okay? So like, what the fuck is this? That's genuinely insane behavior, that someone has a job, someone goes to work, and they're paid to choose to put this as the picture to sell a prefab. If you don't understand the issue, then you shouldn't have the job. I shouldn't have to spell out to you the problem here, but it's pretty interesting nonetheless with the mass layoffs that are going on, and certain people that were doing their jobs getting fired, while people that do this retain their employment. In my opinion, that is how you know that there is a lot of magic in this world. There is a lot of magic. I don't know what the hell that is, but if you want to look like that, go ahead. Why not? Why not do that? Sure. And then this is probably the outfit that goes with it, but who could tell for sure? Anyway, that's pretty stupid, and I recommend not buying this bundle and wait till the prefab is by itself. Let's not reward their idiocy, okay? This is the Complete Chaos Power Armor paint. This was from a recent scoreboard, and it can be equipped to the Excavator, Raider, the T-Series, the Ultrasight, and Axo 1. Note that it does not list off Union, Hellcat, Vulcan, or anything like that. Because why bother retroactively adding paint to new power armors that you want people to be interested in? This is the Free States Resistant outfit. If you want to look like an angry duck, now's your chance, guys. While supplies last, get into gear and join the resistance. Oh boy. This is one of the best skins in the game. They had it in here not too long ago, and they brought it back again because they can't keep track of their own rotation of items. But it's genuinely, I think, my favorite skin of anything in this game. Like paint skin, armor skin, weapon skin. I just said paint skin. All right, let's start over. Let's start over from the top. Hello, my fellow. I just said everything wrong. I'm Mr. Church, and I'm starting the video over because I can't stand it when people say stuff wrong. And I hate this. I hate what's going on here. I wish I edited my videos. So that's everything on page 1. And if you guys find anything awesome with the axolotls that I missed, let me know in the comments, please. I assume they're just plushies, so I didn't bother getting them. But again, maybe there's something magical and miraculous with them. Maybe they, I don't know. Maybe they allow you to enter the 4th dimension. Who can be sure? Now we have the workshop expanded, building a better camp. I don't know about all that because they have a picture of the Wildwood Tavern. This is another massive prefab. It's not as big as the other one, but you're going to run into similar issues where it's hard to furnish it properly with a budget, but this one's more possible. One thing that is to keep in mind is this one has a nice door that comes with it, and it's only this much money, and this door is pretty awesome. It opens like French doors, like you know, it's two different doors. And it used to be that it was almost impossible to use it without using all these really extremely complicated blueprints that someone else came up with after they watched my video. But now you could just free place them anywhere. So now you can free place them wherever you want. So it is a pretty cool door. The windows you can't see through, which is dumb as hell. And that goes for all the windows in the entire prefab. One thing that's weird about this thing is when it starts taking damage, it starts getting holes in it before it's fully, like, this is like one of the few things I know of that has like varying degrees of destruction. But you can just break it fully with you know, in build mode and just repair it. But it's pretty weird when that happens because it starts getting holes in it, but it's not like broken yet, so you can't repair it. It's just something weird to keep in mind. This is the Fetch Collectron Station. We just had the pet version of this, and now you can have the Collectron version of it in your camp if you want. It just picks up stuff. And electronic trash collectron is what it does. So that's what it does. I've never been a huge fan of this thing, but if you want it, there it is. We have the Enclave kit. This thing is just like one of the weirdest walls ever. And I believe this is in that massive bundle that they just had. And like I was saying, if you like some of the wall sets, they usually sell them by themselves, so just wait around for it. There's also the Mr. Fuzzy Tinker's Workbench. Your character will punch its nose, and then in 3 frames, it'll open up, and then it'll start getting to work. I never have used this in my camp, so that's fine. This is the display, the Power Armor display frame set, or it's called display frame set. But anyway, it's the chassis display frame, Armor Ace chassis display frame, and the yellow chassis display frame. So 3 different ones. This one is the Armor Ace, this one is the yellow one, and this one's the normal one, which is like a grayish color. It's basically, these are the ones that are basically the exact same ones that are in Fallout 4. They're pretty, you know, they're cool. They're just standard, whatever. It's fine. This is a Nuka-Cola stash box, because in my opinion, this is what you really need, guys. A Nuka-Cola stash box. Yeah. And then the fancy bar set. This thing is a pretty old Atom Shop item, and it's been around for a long time. But this doesn't tell you what the set includes, but I believe it includes everything in this picture, but you can never trust them. But I'm pretty sure that's what it includes. And so that's fine. It's pretty much whatever. This is a race car bed. Now, because of the relaxed building restrictions, you might find more uses for this than you did before. Just keep that in mind. This is a communal fire pit. It's pretty cool, pretty nice, and it also gives you the well-rested bonus if you sit at it for a long enough period of time, which is pretty cool. And then we have the greatest hits, the Freedom Forge bundle. This one has the roasted hot dog pose, the Freedom Forge power armor paint, the Freedom Forge paint for the Tesla rifle, the Freedom Forge bandana, the Freedom Forge uniform, and the Free States Fight player icon. Now, in my opinion, it's really impossible to get a picture of a player icon, of all things, you know? This is the water slide bundle, guys, and this isn't the worst prefab that they've ever made, but it is F tier, okay? The worst one was last week, the Raider one with a laser grid, but this one's pretty fucking bad. It's just horrifically massive. You're never going to make this look immersive wherever. It fits one place, and that's at Wavy Willards, and we can't build our camps there because it would crash the game more than it already does. And it's also got this weird teleportation system where if you use the water slide, your character will slide down it, and it'll stand up, and it'll pop up, and it'll be at the top again. How about them apples? It's pretty ugly, pretty dumb, pretty big, pretty Duke. There's also the inner tube deck chair, which your character can sit in. The deck lounger, which your character lounges on instead of sitting at the end of it like they do with those White Springs ones that come in the base game. Then we have, this is the Wavy Willard's round deck table. And now you'll be able to go into free place mode and place items down here on the table. But before, if you have it in snap mode, if you try to place an item here, it'll pop up to the top of this, and then you'll either drop merge it down or swear and break stuff and throw your controller and turn the game off, or wait till it crashes, which might be faster. This is actually, I really do like these tiles, but what the fuck, my brother in Christ, is this? Have you ever had the ability to rotate the tiles? Because I'm able to on my device, and let me know in the comments, guys, if you're able to rotate your foundations when you're putting them down, or if you just have to accept whatever happens. It's impossible to make a checkered pattern, to be fair. You know, it's hard, it gets confusing over time. This is a snack bar bundle, and guys, this is a prefab, massive one, in fact. And this is a balloon maker, it makes balloons, and I think it like gives you rubber, but I can't quite remember. And, you know, you've got massive signs, the hot dog rider. Sometimes this is in the shop by itself, if you really like this, by the way. So I wouldn't, like, just, you know. And also, this door, a few weeks ago when they were doing, like, the single doors for the daily deals, this was one of the doors. So if you like the door too, you might also consider waiting around for that to be by itself as well, instead of getting this whole dumb bundle. This is the pristine Nuka-Cola vending machine. It looks way too clean, considering the rest of this is scrappy and post-war. So that makes no sense, but aren't you glad they didn't put any effort into it? This is the Skull Lord paint, and yes, we're looking at this together, and no, you cannot get up. You have to keep your eyes on the screen. I demand it. Now, I know you just ate, but I think it's good to test your digestive system, and it's good to have a strong stomach, in my opinion. So let's keep looking at it for as long as we can. It's getting a little more painful. I'm feeling bubbling. I'm feeling this gurgling down in my stomach. Oh boy, is this ever so beautiful. I wish I looked like that. Don't you guys wish you looked like that? Well, that is your lucky day, because it's only $9,800. Buy it today, 30% off, and you could look like that. Wow, this is the pawn shop vending machine. It's a vending machine, and it's got this pawn. I actually kind of like this one. It's got cool little details on it. It's got a nice, I think it has a slight Art Deco design here, you know, going on. And I really do like it. We've got this red rocket paint for the dragon. This one's actually pretty cool. It makes the barrels, these like pipes, you know, which looks cool. And this would definitely blow up in your hands if you tried to use it. This pipe organ is actually pretty neat. I've actually used this a few times. In the past, I made the spooky church build, which I'm going to link in the description if you want to check it out. But your character can play it, and then because it's an instrument, you get the well-tuned bonus, which gives you better AP regeneration for a certain time period. This is the golden toilet. The lid on it opens for what it's worth, and that is pretty stupid. This is the Brotherhood of Steel kit, and it's just like concrete and stuff, metal on the inside. They almost actually have all the pieces of it shown in the picture, which is crazy behavior. Can you guys imagine them actually showing pictures of the thing they're selling? I feel offended by that, actually. I feel offended. Honestly, this is pretty cool. The normal concrete half wall and this cool half wall are ones that I use frequently, but I don't usually use the rest of them just because they have this weird metal border, which I think looks kind of weird, and I don't like the doorway, although I do understand that this is a design feature from one of the old original Fallout games. I just don't like it that much, personally. Anyway, that's everything on this page, and now we have the last page, which has absolutely something interesting. Wow, we've got the hug cutout. Now, because I already own this, I can't see for sure, but if I remember correctly, this thing was free back in the day, and in my opinion, free hugs is always a good time. So, grab that while supplies last. And then for today, we have hidden down here the daily offer instead of being up on the top where it usually is. And today it's the Nuka-Cola trampoline. At least I think that's what's going on here. It says 21 hours. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was just in the shop, either in a bundle or by itself, literally last week. So I'm a little confused why this is the daily deal. But this, your character can interact with it, and then they jump up and down on it and until you, like, make your character get off it. And as far as I know, it doesn't give you any, like, bonus, like sleeping in a bed does. But your character will jump this high instead of this high, even though you have marsupial, so you're actually jumping lower than normal. So instead of being like a trampoline, it more looks like your legs have been attached to the ground with springs, and you're trying to jump with tension pulling you back down. That's what it looks like because you'll be so used to jumping with marsupial. Pretty fun time, but this is a 21 hours, so every day they reset that and they have a different item there that you can select from, and you can choose to spend your mom's money on something else if today's stuff isn't something you want. We also have the Pit Boss bundle for whatever reason, and this is one of the most painful items to work with if you're using snap mode especially. It's got really weird hitbox that I can't quite understand, and weird stuff happens when you try to pick it up and move it around, but it is a cool item, I guess. There's pieces of corrugated metal on the top. If you can figure out how to incorporate them into your designs, it's a lot easier now because you can do free place. So you know, you could figure out a way to use it potentially, but it is tough to work with, so that's my warning to you. And then this is a pig head, if you want to do that. And then this makes no sense. Grinder paint. So, because you know how that... Anyway, this is a little bell, which I think is a pretty cool item, honestly. The service bell. And then it's weird also that they took a picture of the item they're trying to sell us. To me, that feels a little suspicious, you know? What do you mean? You're taking a picture, a clear picture, so we can see what the item is that you want to sell? That's disrespectful, you know? I want stuff like this. This should be the picture of the bell. That's what they usually do, but this is actually a picture of the meat packaging. What? No, what is this? The meat scale. Yeah, the meat scale. So that's more in line with what they do. And then this is the meat packaging photo frame. So that's that. How interesting. And then for another week, you can also, if you follow first, get the Home of a Hero bundle. And as you can see, there's this really cool designed thing. And then there's this, which looks nothing like it. And that's what you actually get. So I never bought that personally because it doesn't look like this. If it looked like this, I would have gotten it, but it doesn't. It looks like that. Like, how do you make that and then you build that instead? Seriously. You got this weird double barrel shotgun paint, which separates the barrels about a mile apart from each other. This backpack skin, and what's this supposed to be? I'm guessing this is the veteran's kettle paint, because anytime they say paint and they don't say what it is, it's the Pip-Boy. And so what this means, guys, is this cool uniform or whatever doesn't come in this bundle, okay? Keep that in mind, guys. You can get this floating, levitating haversack loot. Guys, they actually, like, put this down, and then they zoomed in and took a picture, saw that it was levitating, and said, you know what? That's good. That's good. And then they took the effort of doing that and then put that photo into their files and then uploaded it to the shop. And this is a repeat item, which means they've done it before and they've had this item in there before. This is levitating, okay? Now, gravity is pretty cool. So, physics, you know? It's what makes people feel immersed and whatnot. Someone chose to do that, and they're dumb as hell. That's the end of the story. I'm mad. Now I'm mad. I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to my patrons and channel members for your support. If it wasn't for your support, I would not be able to be doing this. especially with the amount of hair loss that's been going on. I'm balding. If you want to support the channel, that's an amazing way to support the channel, and the link for that will be in the description. But just commenting, subscribing, liking, all those things help the video and help the channel, and I really appreciate it. Also, I stream on Twitch. Make sure you follow me on Twitch if you're not following me on Twitch. And I also have a Discord. Make sure you join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. It's a great community. And those links for those will be in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video.